Before we talk about the contents of this video, I do want to apologize if you hear any upset cats in the background. As I've shown on Twitter, I got a second cat. So my cat would have a friend, and she's currently not very pleased about it. So probably within the next couple of weeks, probably like week 2, maybe 3, you'll see like you'll hear an upset growl or two in the background or a hiss because it's gonna take a while for her to get used to this. But anyway, the arc is practically over. We have just kind of we have pretty much just the kind of like area of the cooldown period. We're going to get some information on what's coming up. We're going to be finding out what of these this whole premonition of Asta dying. I'm going to do a video on that because somebody shared a good point with me that I'm going to go over in a video I'll put out tomorrow. But for now, I want to talk about who I think is going to be the next Wizard King. Because one of the things to kind of like, at the point of when Julius was, at the time, what we thought was dead. I mean, he's still defeated and no longer powerful enough to be Wizard King, but still. There was the question of who was going to take his place. And, there were a lot of people throwing around guesses. I saw a lot of people saying Yami. I feel like Yami... for one, I still don't think Yami, it's his kind of deal. I don't think he would want to do that. I don't think he wants that kind of responsibility. I think he likes his, very small, tight-knit group within the Black Bulls. But you had to keep in mind the idea of this is an arc. We don't know how long it was going to be. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what really was to come, other than there was going to be a lot of big action and big battles. And with that, we weren't sure like what characters were going to get upgrades and whatnot, what characters were going to get boosts, new spells. And after the arc is pretty much all the action is over, I feel like there's only one character really that fits the bill in all directions to be Wizard King, and that being Fuegoleon. There's a lot of people looking at Nozel. I know that they're the most likely candidates because I feel like in terms of straight like a powerful character to put in charge, you'd put in Marileona. But Marileona, we already know she does not care about status or rank or any of that. She just does it for doing her part of the job while still getting like intense battles in there. But with Nozel and Fuegoleon, they not only are, they're royalty, royal members of the House Silva and House Vermilion. They are also, which actually becomes a little bit crazier after we find out Lumire's last name. But they are also rivals. They're also pretty cool opposing like kind of forces. You have the Fire Lion and the Mercury Bird. Like they're well, I don't know why I said bird, it's an eagle. It's clearly obviously silver eagles, but they have so many aspects that kind of fit the bill. They both had their own like big important character pieces while having like instilling moments with them and other characters. Like you had a really good moment with Nozel back in the invasion arc when Ras and everyone showed up, when they were kind of like, was it Nibra and Solid were kind of like shitting on Fuegoleon for being defeated, and Nozel was just like, if he's trash for losing, what are we for not being here and doing our part at all? And it was just like, you can tell in his mind, regardless, the way he treats like people he doesn't think can pull his weight, like what we saw, obviously the way he treated Noel especially, he's a little bit too rough in that area, I think, because even though he means well in a lot of ways, it comes off in a lot of bad ways. Like, he just comes off as a jerk. Whereas Fuegoleon, he not only like instills like really good lessons, he knows how to talk and inspire people. He has a lot of respect from his order, similar to like what Yami has for his. But with Fuegoleon, there was the fact that after he was defeated and spent what was it like 200 chapters in a coma, almost. No, it was like I think it was like 100 and what, like 160 chapters, maybe a little under, maybe like 155. I'd have to go back and look at the exact chapter. But he, while coming back, got Salamander. Salamander not only being like a powerful spirit, but it is one of the 4 great spirits, and it is the highest offensive spirit that there is. And adding that onto his level already, I think he's just too much for like any competition. Like I think the only character I think outside of like well, I guess you can't even count Julius anymore, but within the kingdom that I think is stronger than him currently, I'd say is Marileona, but Marileona I don't think she's not going to want the position. But keep in mind, Fuegoleon just got Salamander, and look how powerful it was at the start. And imagine if he learned Spirit Dive. Like, if he learned Spirit Dive, then I think that he will go to that level of Wizard King. Because, you know, we have, like, all these other characters, but there's, like, definitely a tier 4 captain. Marileona is kind of in between captain and Wizard King, kind of like how Aesir Silver was. But with Fuegoleon, I just see, like, that huge boost. Like, when we saw, who was already around. He was relatively around vice captain level from what we've seen from some of them, like Langris. But that boost made him, from Spirit Dive, made him able to compete with a captain. Obviously, Rill, it's kind of hard with Rill because Rill isn't power-based. He's more of, like, utility in the vast level of like, expansive grasp his magic has, that he can use all these elements while making constructs, while making traps, and all these different kind of, like, it's just a wide variety of what he has, but he still has to have a certain level of power. That's why I think he's kind of like, it was the perfect kind of area to look at, like, bottom probably in terms of firepower of the captains, but still captain level. And imagine what Fuegoleon is going to have from the highest offensive spirit on top of what he has already. Like, I think that while at least in Spirit Dive, at the moment, he would be Wizard King level. Like, he would be able to push Julius in a fight, and obviously people are going to comment on that. Like, I don't think, like, Julius versus Fuegoleon in Spirit Dive, like, even. I think for the amount of time he could hold Spirit Dive, he could keep up with him, but only in that, which it's not, like, the same, because Julius is like, this is me all the time. This is only you when you're in that form, pretty much. Obviously, it's not a form that he currently has. I'm putting that into the fray of things, because it's something we know he's going to get. Like, it would be kind of silly for Tabata to introduce Spirit Dive and only get it. Like, we're probably going to get characters that have Spirit Dive that don't even have a great spirit. They just have a spirit, because it doesn't even seem to be, confined just to them. It's just spirit magic. But I'm going to leave it at that. I just wanted to go over this video. I wanted to talk about it before we get to the next arc, and obviously with the week off on Black Clover and the Weekly Shonen Jump manga. I just thought it was a good place to put it. So tell me in the comments what you think. Is there anyone else really that kind of fits the bill? Because the only other one I can really think that would kind of slide into the spot and make sense, or at least feel like it makes sense, is Nozel. But Fuegoleon just has, a higher position in my eyes, and higher level of qualifications. It just kind of comes off that way to me. Plus, it would be a good reason to keep to keep Marileona as captain if she ends up, just staying as captain because Fuegoleon becomes Wizard King. Or it's like if Nozel becomes Wizard King, then the Silver Eagles are without a captain. Who's going to be their captain replacement, But, like I said, tell me in the comment section below what you think. Other than that, I really appreciate the thumbs up the video, but from the like button, subscribe button, and check out my other videos. Other than that, I appreciate everyone for listening and everyone who's already subscribed.